Hi, I'm Amberly Mason, and in this edition of the 3-Minute Trading Expert, I'm going to cover the concepts of acting well and acting poorly. Acting well is a term we use to describe a unique situation in the market when an asset rises or holds steady in the face of bad news. It's a bullish development for that asset. Acting poorly is the opposite of acting well. It's when an asset falls or holds steady in the face of great news. It's a bearish development for that asset. Most of the time, when terrible news comes out for a given stock or commodity, it will drop. This is just the natural order of things. The same goes for great news. Great news usually propels a stock or commodity higher. But when the opposite of what should happen occurs, it's worth taking note. It's a clue that the trend could be about to change. These trend changes present great trading opportunities. Let's look at some examples. Here's an example of acting well. This is the story of Intel in April 2009. Remember, this was around the time of the 2008-2009 credit crisis. Many folks were worried the Great Depression Part 2 was around the corner. As you can see, Intel shares had fallen more than 50% in 4 months. Intel is the world's largest maker of semiconductors, the tiny engines that power the world's computers. If another Great Depression was in the cards, people wouldn't be buying computers and Intel's business would suffer. In mid-April 2009, Intel reported a huge sales decline of 26% from the previous year's quarter. Profits fell 55%. It was a terrible report. Intel also offered a blurry outlook for the rest of the year. Wall Street hates blurry. So after this terrible news, you'd expect shares to fall even more. But what happened to Intel shares after this news? Take a look. They held like a rock. They acted well. And look what happened shortly after. They started a big rally. The acting well of Intel shares was a great clue for observant traders. When a bear market has a bullish reaction to horrible news, like our Intel example, it's a sign the sellers of that asset are exhausted and out of ammo. It's a sign the downtrend is likely finished. It's a sign that things can't get any worse, so they can only get better. Now let's look at an example of acting poorly. Consider the price action of fertilizer producer Potash Corp in 2008. Back then, Potash was enjoying a huge bull market. Shares were up 700% in 2 years. Tons of CNBC guests talked about how bullish they were on fertilizer stocks. You'd hear stuff like, things couldn't be better for the industry. Crop prices were so high, food riots broke out in Mexico and Indonesia. For fertilizer stocks, that's bullish news. And retail investors started hearing about these developments and reading about rising fertilizer stock prices on the nightly news. Around this time, Potash came out with a stunning earnings report. Earnings were 220% higher than the year before, the highest total in company history. CEO Bill Doyle said the quarter established a new standard of performance for our company. But look at the chart. Shares fell 3.3% on massive trading volume. Potash reported the greatest quarter in company history, a new standard in profitability, and was clobbered for it. This weak performance in the face of great news is a classic example of acting poorly. It's a sign the market has already accounted for the great fundamentals. It's a sign there aren't enough buyers in the market to help drive prices higher. Since things couldn't get any better for Potash, they could only get worse. Things did get worse for Potash, and shares fell more than 70% in late 2008. That Potash shares were acting poorly was a great clue for traders of what was to come. So to summarize, when a bear market rallies in the face of horrible news, it's a bullish sign. It's acting well. When a bull market sells off in the face of great news, it's a bearish sign. It's acting poorly. Be on the lookout for both developments. They can alert you to great trading opportunities. I'm Amberly Mason. Thanks for watching, and good trading. If you want to learn another incredibly powerful trading secret, click here to watch the next video.